Yeah, so welcome to Puzzle Media once again. It's your man Mike here. I traveled all the way from Vancouver to meet a friend of mine, our chairman, the Ugandan, he's our chairman for the Ugandan community within British Columbia. So I'm delighted to be with you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself to our people.
Yes, my name is ABBY NSUBUGA KIZITO, and I am the newly elected chairperson of the Ugandan community in British Columbia. And I'm so excited to be hosted by Mr. Mike here from Puzzle Media. Thank you, Mr. Mike.
Thank you too. Well, Mr. Nsubuga, right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nsubuga. So,
and that's my dad's name.
Yeah.
The one I go by, and yeah, my other name is Kizito.
So Kizito
Nsubuga, but I like my dad's legacy. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
So, how long have you been here?
I have been in Canada for 9 years now. 9 years, June this year.
9 years, June this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite good.
Thank you.
So, you know, whichever country we go, Ugandan community has got leadership.
Yeah.
So, we're so lucky that we can reach you out and you give us time to talk to you. Not like other people. You know, it's very difficult because you would like to talk to your chairman or our president, and someone says, I'm busy, I cannot get time for you. But at least for you, when Puzzle Media came to you, and you were very welcoming. You said to us that, okay, it's fine, you can come, we have a talk.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we've got some few topics to talk about.
Okay.
Basically, we want to talk about the normal life, or the life of people, or the lives of people living within British Columbia.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the jobs industry, or the job industry.
Yeah.
We will talk about how we get jobs and everything. We will try to go into a lot of things, you know,
yes,
because at least you can enlighten us more, because you know more about this. And right now we're asking the right person. We're asking our president or our chairman. Should I call you chairman? It's
yes.
Supposed to be chairman, yeah.
Chairperson.
So I'm asking our chairman. So, well, can you first tell us about what you do here?
Thank you, Puzzle Media. So basically, I'm based in the Fraser Valley. So the Fraser Valley takes Abbotsford, Mission, Chilliwack, Hope, that side. And actually, I'm a husband, and I'm also a dad of 3.
Yeah.
And I stay with my family here in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Given that insight, I'm also an accounting student with the accounting body that's in Alberta.
Yeah.
So I work with a public accounting firm down in Abbotsford.
Yeah.
And I'm into public accounting. So we mainly do corporate, personal work, and we deal with what they call trusts. When people, you accumulate money, then you want to pass it on to the next generation, or your kids or your grandkids, then you look into things that they are called trusts. They are like, corporate vehicles. They are kind of the most efficient ways, to pass on wealth to the next generation with incurring less taxes, especially in this country. It's all about tax. So then the accountants come in and we say we want to minimize that. We don't want to cheat the government, but we want to minimize that.
Okay, so that's good. We will come into that very briefly.
You're
So,
welcome.
can you tell us a little bit about your background, like when you came here, and how did you end up doing that job you're doing right now as an accountant?
Yeah.
And because some people have, when they came here, they got into many different things.
Yeah.
You find someone saying that I left my home country when I'm a doctor, but when I came here, I started doing some other things, you know? So, can you tell us
Yeah.
how you, I mean, your background, which led you to switch, I mean, to stay into what you're doing right now?
Okay, thank you, Mike. So basically, my background is still in the accounting field. So I graduated from Makerere University Business School.
Yeah.
I majored in accounting and audit. But, you know, as life goes on, I was more into business in Uganda, doing all the kind of businesses, including importing grain from Bwebaja, Bweyale, and wherever, selling it in the city. But, you know, with the challenges back home, it's something that is not something prosperous that you kind of look into, you know, progressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but when I came out here, I still had that dream of, you know, working the accounting life. Back home, getting into accounting or practicing accounting as a sole person, it's kind of difficult because, you know, even businesses themselves don't look at the tax side as something that they want to venture in to, you know, be on good terms with the government or something. So I saw that as something that was a challenge back in Uganda. But when I stepped on this land, everything went by taxes. Even if you're an individual, you don't have a business. There is what they call a personal tax that you have to, you know, submit at the end of the year. If you run a business, then you have to, you know, probably submit a corporate tax. If you just operate as a sole proprietor, you still have to do what we call business income, and you have to still submit, you know, a business kind of tax. You report your taxes as a sole proprietor, you know, individual. So I saw that as an opportunity for me to get back into, you know, the accounting field. One thing is that I had to do more research and see exactly how do I get back into what I want to do.
Yep.
When I got to that level, it wasn't that much easy because when you say, okay, you graduated with a BCom back in Uganda, it's not the same as a graduation with, they have what we call accounting in arts or, you know, something similar, but it's or Bachelor of Business Administration. But then they tell you that doesn't equal a rhyme. You still have to do what we call prerequisites. So basically, it's up to you. Do you want to still do exactly what you did back there to get to the pace that they want you at, or you just want to continue doing what you're doing? So I took on the challenge and I went back to school a few years ago. And then, I brought myself to pace where, like, you know, I work now in a public accounting firm as an accountant with,
And how long did that take you? Because it's like a very long journey.
Yes, it's a long journey that needs some patience. Sometimes it also requires, you know, the right opportunities. You have to kind of make sure you always hang out with the right people to get the right connections. So my first placement, I would say I was a bookkeeper. So basically accounting, the bottom part of it, you know, is kind of like bookkeeping. So I did bookkeeping for a trucking and mining company. That was my first step to get into all this, what I'm doing right now. And I would say it was more into, you know, connections, the people, you know, I hang around with in my community. You keep talking about the challenge that you want to meet, then someone will say, oh yeah, I kind of know someone who you know, they want something that you are looking for, probably I can connect you. As Ugandans, sometimes we don't want to talk about what we are looking for to other people. Like we kind of we
Try
look
to be
at us
so secretive.
Yes, but we have to be open because, you know, this country, most people are just open. Like someone just comes and tells you something that is going on in his home, and it's like, really, he told me that? But I mean, that's where opportunities also come. You tell someone, hey, I want to be a pilot. How do I pursue that? Yeah, so that's the way I kind of. But I had that as my dream to get into that.
Wow. That's really so good because
And yes, so my bookkeeping took me actually 5 years. And then I realized that to get into the professional accounting, I have to join a public accounting firm. I cannot still work as a bookkeeper and then pursue accounting as a profession. So then that took me to the next step of where I am now. So I kind of left the bookkeeping company, then I joined the public accounting firm where I do work now.
so that means ever since you came here, you've been working in, you've been into the accounting jobs like that. You've never done any other job. Let's say that you came and you're like, okay, so since I cannot go direct into accounting,
Yes.
let me try doing something like cleaning. Let me try doing something like working into social homes,
Yeah.
things like that. This.
Yeah. So that takes me to a preamble now before the bookkeeping.
Yeah.
So basically, any job that you may want to do, take it as an opportunity to connect with, you know, something, to connect with your next opportunity. So my very first job that I did in Canada was I worked on a farm picking blueberries.
Yeah.
And I did this job for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I worked on what they call, it's kind of a combine harvester. You know, all these blueberries were flying over. I got the buckets, poured in the main one, and I got my first dollars doing that kind of work. And all this gives you the connection, and you kind of understand the people you are dealing with in this land, because, you know, in Uganda, things are different, people are different, and then here, things are also different. So that was my kind of first step that I did. Then as because I landed here as a permanent resident, because my wife came here, went into school, so then she had her permanent residency. So when I came here, I was a permanent resident. So so my opportunities were just starting with working and not, you know, looking for paperwork and all this. So I started off right away. So there is what they call job connections with what they call community services. So each city that anyone stays in Canada, there is a community service, and it gives new immigrants opportunity to get jobs. So that's where I went, and the one I went to was skilled trades, because I don't know how to build anything. I'm not a carpenter, but this is something I liked to use my hands to do stuff. But I didn't know anything, and I thought this was my opportunity to kind of do this stuff. So I went into skilled trades. They gave me a construction belt. They gave me a hammer. They gave me my protective glasses. They gave me a safety vest. They gave me I think it's called a hard hat or something like that.
Something like
kind
that.
of. Then it cost, and my steel toe boots that I have somewhere, I've kept back home.
Remember this?
Yes, and this put me in the job like in the next 2 days. So I was on to a construction site like in the next 2 days. So that was kind of my first employment in Canada. So I worked at a construction site. We were building townhouses. So I did this job for close to 1.5 months. Yeah, so I was a helper because I didn't know how to even use a hammer. I didn't know how to use all these tools, but you know, these guys were so helpful. They taught me everything. Actually, in 1.5 months, I was almost like the assistant to the, I think they're called foremen. Yeah, because most of the other guys were kind of lazy, I would say. And I was so diligent in everything that I did at this site. And the foreman liked me so much that I was kind of his assistant.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to what I talked about at first. When you want something and you go in the community, talk about it. So I had a bunch of friends. I told them I want to become an accountant or a bookkeeper, and that's the trend I wanted. So as I did this construction, now these opportunities opened up, and I had a phone call. Hey, are you still interested in this? So and so told us that you want to become a bookkeeper, and someone just quit, and we want a bookkeeper. Yeah. And that's how I stepped into this. So at that time, it was a challenge for me because I reached a level that I think I wanted construction.
Yeah.
Because I knew how to use all the tools. Everyone liked me.
Yeah.
I liked what I was doing. But again, I had sowed the seed that if you know anyone looking for a bookkeeper, let me know.
Yeah.
So then this phone call came, and it was just an open opportunity for me. So I said, I think it's God that has opened this. I think I need to walk to this opportunity. So that's when I went. So that gets back to your question that, yes, I did. I worked on a farm for kind of 2 weeks. Then I worked on a construction site.
Yeah.
I built very beautiful apartments in Mission there. I go look at them and I say, yeah, my sweat is on this. But I can't afford them. But yeah, my sweat is on here.
Okay, so I would like to tell people out there that if you decide to come to Canada,
yes,
even if you are a doctor, even if you are a teacher, don't lose hope.
Yeah.
But at least come knowing that you're going to grab each and every opportunity which comes in front of you.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Kizito here, he's a certified accountant.
I'm getting my certification.
You're getting, but at least you're doing accounting.
That,
yeah. So he came like all the way from Uganda. He was still into the system. So when he came here, he had to wait until he gets the proper day or the proper time for him to pursue what he wants. But what did he do? He grabbed the chances he could get. He went into construction. He went into blueberry picking. You know, blueberry picking, it's not easy, but at least he was doing that thing, and he managed to align into what he really wanted. So here he is right now. He's an accountant. He does things like filing taxes and many more things, concerning with accounting, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you don't lose hope. Even if you're a doctor, don't lose hope. But just make sure that when you come here, you grab a chance you can. Grab whatever you can and do that. You never know. One time, you will fit into the system.
Yes.
Okay, so another question, because at least we will be talking about few things, we will be going into the work, then our community.
Yes.
So you are our chairperson. Like you said, we can say chairperson, right? Yeah, you are our chairperson.
Yeah, some people prefer calling me president.
I would prefer calling you a president. Yeah, that's better, I think. So you are our president. And well. I have to be so curious, or I have to be so careful in whatever I say. You may say, okay, now Mike, I don't need you in British Columbia anymore, and I have to go to another place to look for where I can stay. So I know what I'm trying to ask. I have to stay into the line so that you don't chase me away from British Columbia. So what inspired you to come as our president?
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, that's a big question. What inspired me to step into? Actually, I was a bit hesitant because, as our community itself, it's a challenging community when you kind of stay in it for a longer time. I was more looking into kind of backing anyone that would want to take that opportunity and work with them, guide them, but it seems all the eyes again looked at me. I don't know why. because, you know, we had some situations that we went through.
Yeah.
But then everyone told me, it's the right time for you, and you are the person that we are going to work with. And I told everyone, if it's the right time, we are going to work together. It's not my time, then it's our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what inspired me is, in most cases, like when I work out there or I meet Ugandans, something that I realized is that we have, or most people have, what we call low self-esteem.
Okay.
Tebekkiririzamu.
Yeah.
And this one has come about because of the community that we build.
Okay.
We build a community with distrust, whereby maybe we have leaders or even people that are not leaders, but we as Ugandans ourselves, we don't, we kind of take the opportunity to cheat the other Ugandan, right?
Yeah.
Any opportunity you get, you cheat your friend.
Yeah.
I saw to it that it was the time that we start building these relationships between ourselves. When you look at this country, like most of our fellow Ugandans that come here, they go through the asylum, process. You seek asylum, then you get documentation.
Yeah.
Canada welcomes you with open hands. Like, you want somewhere to stay, they even give you social assistance and all this.
Yeah.
But most of us don't even take this opportunity and welcome the next person.
Yes.
Like, you jump out of that shelter, you get your own place. You don't even think of going to pick up someone who is stranded at the airport and bring him.
Giving a hand.
But this is what Canada has given you, and, given you with open hands. And the next, 2 weeks, you're even getting a free check and you're not working anywhere.
Yeah.
We need to emulate this as Ugandans.
Open our hands for the others.
Exactly. Because what I realized, when you go meet a Ugandan and say, this is Nsubuga, then they start hiding away. Or they say, I'm Kenyan. Or because they don't want to work. But we want to build this trust within ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's going to be with action. Most of the time, we have like a social WhatsApp chat that, kind of brings us together. But then people will just post that, when you see Ugandans, muna Uganda mulabe duka. We want to we want to get people who want to step out and bring this trust within us. But if we get the leadership that wants to drive this, then we can have it. But everyone just talks about it and runs away.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think motivated me to kind of step into this. In my own community in the Fraser Valley, I do work with different, community groups. And this has taught me so much about, having these relationships, and people come together and, talk stuff, and you build all these opportunities together. So I think this is one of the most thing that then, in most cases, we come as a community and we just start building the roof. But there's no foundation. When you reach the third floor, then everything collapses down because there is no foundation.
I understand.
When we build these relationships, then we go even higher than the third floor. So that's what motivated me.
Okay,
Thank you.
I will be open to you.
Yeah.
First of all, I will blame this on you. Because right now I'm talking to the right person.
Okay.
I will put all this blame on you. Because for us, when we came here, we didn't have anything organized. We didn't know who is the president. We didn't know where can we go. We didn't know whom to talk to. But at least you guys knew the people we're supposed to talk to.
Yeah.
But you were working behind the closed doors. You were behind the curtains. No one could see you. But you were pushing people. No, you can just go. You can do it. You can do it. You were trying to motivate other people, but you didn't want to come out.
Yeah.
So at least this time round, you decided to come out, and now we can see you and we see that, oh yeah, we have a president who is here and he's here for us, you know. So I'm blaming this on you because at least for us, by the time we came, we didn't know anything. But at least now we're trying to be opened up. We can see some other things. So I would thank you for that. And then I would also ask you another question. Do you have any vision for our community, for our Ugandan community within British Columbia? I mean, guys over there, our president stays very far away from where I stay. I live in Vancouver. It's a 2 hours drive from where I stay to where he is. I had to come all the way to his place. He stays here in this place. What's the name of this place?
This is Peace Arch.
It's called the Peace Arch. Yeah, we're just opposite to the United States. United States is over there and we are here. So he told me, okay, come, let me give you a tour. Imagine coming to visit a president and he decides even to give you a tour. So he brought me to this place because I didn't know this place. So I'm very far away from home. So I was saying, so what's the vision do you have for our community? Or with your management, because I will say your management. What vision do you have for us?
So first of all, we want to lay a foundation that a foundation of leadership that can be built on. We don't tetwagala kubeera bannakyemalira. We want something that when people see, then they can build on top, others build on top. One, we want the structures that are there. We don't want, when everyone comes, they only think about Mr. Nsubuga. Yeah, if they know we have a leadership of 10 people, they can run to the director in charge of events. We have a director in charge of sports. We have a director in charge of welfare. We have the general secretary. We have the treasurer. It's a new team, but I mean, when all these positions are well established in the community, everything now starts, working out very well.
Everything falls in place.
So as a Ugandan community, we want to practice our culture in this country. This country is very cultural. Like they say, bring your culture and practice it here. When we look at the Indians, they do their stuff. They have Indian days. We don't have our stuff because everyone thinks the other person is, we fear each other or we don't relate well, We want to build that community. But again, now it's the basis. But as we establish a strong basis, then everything else will start, will start falling in place. We may get like in this place, one of the challenges is housing. Housing is very expensive. We could be able to access maybe housing subsidies just, directed to our community. We could get other services whereby our people that come, someone may say, oh, nze nvudde eri nze bannayisaaso ebye Uganda obimanyi, you didn't get the opportunity to go as far as you may want, but there are certificates that you can do and maybe they'll be extended to just our community. You come, get into this and just, progress.
So that means, according to what I've heard from all this, like about your vision with your team and a group, you have laid down structures which are going to be helping each and every person. It doesn't matter, you a newcomer here in Canada, you've been here for so long, at least you have put up a structure and you have got, there is a person in charge of everything.
Yes.
So that's what I can understand from you.
Yes, and we want, we want our kids to be Ugandan in Canada.
Okay.
Twagala zi camp. We might have like summer camps. Abana bogere olulimi lwabwe bakolechi, but zanyine bana Uganda banabwe, they relate and do all that kind of stuff.
That's so good.
We want things like that. Twagala, we want girls to have maybe soccer teams or netball teams. We want to do our stuff in
our
Canada.
Games.
Exactly.
Okay.
But in most cases, we see other people doing their own things. and we just lay back, you know. So when we establish that, we can, you see, we had the Ugandan event at a Ukrainian culture center.
Yeah.
You can be able to acquire all these things when you work together and build your, you know,
community.
your community. Exactly. Because all these things were not funded by the Ukrainian government back in, you know, these people came together and they managed to,
they laid a very good structure. They had a very good plan and strategy.
Yeah.
So they had to present this to the government, and the government was able to facilitate each and everything.
Yeah.
So you guys, this is what you're trying to plan.
Kind of, this is our vision to kind of have all these things. Yeah.
So this is so nice, because for sure, you may because what we're talking about is not Canada-wide. It's for the Vancouver people, the
British
the British Columbia residents, like the Ugandans residing within British Columbia. So the president is trying to tell us that the structures they are trying to put up will be so strong whereby we can penetrate into the government system, and our Ugandan community and our cultures can be recognized by the government, and we can get help. If we need help, we can be helped out, because they know we have got a very big, strong foundation of what we have.
Yeah.
This is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen it is being done by the Indian people and some other countries like the residents. But at least if you people are trying to hold up this thing, we just wish you luck. We are here to do everything you guys may need. You have our back. We don't know how it will be, but at least for the people I've seen, the people I've talked to, they have said that at least this leadership we are having is doing something. It's not like before, for sure. It's not like before, because we didn't know anything. We just had some people trying to help us. Someone, you go, you get your phone, you call someone, you say, whom should I call? Justice. You call Justice. You say, hey, Justice, I need this and this. And he has to send you to someone else.
Yeah.
But at least right now, we know whom to talk to.
Yeah.
We know exactly who is going to help us on this and this.
Yeah,
So,
and I try to tell my the whole leadership that we need to be open to people.
Yeah.
Make yourself accessible.
Yeah.
Let people approach you. I don't want a situation where I have 10 people looking for me, then I'm like, where are the other leaders that we do have? That means you guys are not making yourselves accessible to people. So if I'm making myself accessible, then everyone is coming to me, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we are trying to break down, because that's why we've put all this structure.
Everything is on the table.
Yeah.
Open
and
book.
then we want a place that we come from a home which is divided between religion, politics.
Yeah.
We want to be Ugandans here.
Yeah.
No matter the kind of political life you kind of follow back there. When we come, like I myself, I lean towards the conservatives here.
Yeah.
But even after the election, I can go have a cup of tea with Mr. John Hoga, Mr. ABBY, who is our premier in
It's
without
very easy.
flexing.
No, it's very easy for you because you are a citizen, but it's not like me. I'm not a citizen.
Yeah, but I mean, the kind of thing I'm driving is let politics in
Be
Canada.
aside.
Yes, we can actively practice our politics here, but let it not divide our community.
Okay.
We can still live as Ugandans.
Yeah. No matter your culture.
Yes,
No matter your political affiliation.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
So that takes us back to another question. Do you think, what are the challenges do you think our community has been facing lately or some time back?
What I would say is that geopolitics recently has changed, and that has kind of driven employment down in the last, maybe just post-COVID era. During COVID, employment was just like most of the places were hiring, but there's no one to step into those jobs.
Yeah.
Then post-COVID, there were just so many people, and now the employment opportunities kind of shrinked, because what Canada did was what we call an open door policy. Like, many people were ushered in.
Yeah.
And then kind of there were more than probably the job opportunities or, you know, that were out there. So right now, like some of our people probably that have come within the last 1 year or so, they've had that challenge that probably someone has even worked 5 months, 6 months without finding a job. Because, you know, kind of when you work, that's one of the things that you kind of now start feeling at home, that, okay, now I feel okay in this country because I have something to do. That's what brought me here, like to look for those greener pastures. But when you kind of look for a job for months and you've never found anything, you get that demotivation, right? Some people get depressed and they like, oh, this Canada they told us is not what it is. You know, I've been unemployed forever.
They expected very good things, very many things, but coming here, they were disappointed.
They were disappointed. Yeah, so that's one of the challenges that could be in this country. Then the other thing is housing. In the last years or so, we got what we call inflationary effects with the housing market, whereby houses became so expensive, and most people were driven, you know, so that means there were more people than the houses that are available. So right now you find that most rents are very high, kind of like you may earn the money, but most of it is also going just for, you know, rentals and all that. So we do have that a very big challenge of housing, and these are some of the things that we want to look at. And it's a bit hard because when you look at the provincial government, then you look at the federal, these are also challenges that they are trying to kind of fight right now. When you look at the political ideologies, someone is kind of forwarding because he wants to become the premier of BC. Housing is one of the top. So that means, again, me as an immigrant, I'm going to fall off the cliff. Because if citizens are not getting houses, then
that means we will also not get houses.
Exactly. So that's a big challenge, but we don't want our people to come here and stay on the streets because, you know, there's no housing for them. So our first, you know, kind of goal is at least to be able to have all these like shelters in place, because there's no way we may kind of forego shelters. At least someone has somewhere to stay and they have something to eat. Then they can get that first paycheck there. Then they can move on and see what the next opportunity is there for them. And then this country has a problem with drugs, which is not as much back home. So we don't want to find, oh, you
Ugandan,
Mr. Nsubuga is just on the street, you know, he was using drugs and he's now homeless. So those are some of the challenges. That mental health, we want everyone that comes here, don't go into depression. Speak to someone. Get your mental health in the right state. Move on. That opportunity will come and find you. You may not get it right away, but it will come.
But it will come. Well, this message will go to our people wishing to come here in Canada. You just have to know that Canada has also got its own problems.
Yes.
You may come all the way from Uganda and you come to Canada thinking that everything is good. Like the way they tell you, everything might be good, but you will not get it, and you will not just get it right away.
Yes.
So just know that there are some stages you're gonna pass through, and yes, of course, like as the president has said, he doesn't need you to come and sit back there and relax. You fail to get someone to talk to, and you end up going on the street. You end up using drugs. You end up sleeping on the street because you don't have a house where to go. You just have to look for him. If you can't not look for him, talk to other people. Tell them that I'm new here, but I would like to meet should I call it the administration?
The leadership, the community leadership.
The community leadership here in British Columbia. even if you don't find Mr. Kizito, you will find someone else. Those people will be able to sit down with you and they talk to you. They show you what to do. They will show you negativities and positivities, and they will let you know that you have to do this or the do's and don'ts, right?
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah, so you just have to be well prepared when you come. So those are the challenges, mostly the ones we face.
Yeah.
So Mr. Nsubuga, and sometimes I call you Mr. Kizito, sometimes Mr. Nsubuga. They are all your names, yeah?
Yes.
Sometimes I may call you Mr. President. I prefer calling you Mr. President. So what's your take about our Ugandan people coming in here and they fail to get jobs right away, and they result into doing under-table jobs or doing undocumented jobs, and they find out, and they get themselves into trouble with the government. What do you talk about that?
My take on that is that Canada is a bit restrictive with working.
Yeah.
If you have to work, you have to have the right documentation.
Yeah.
There are no shortcuts. Take as long as it takes, pursue the right course.
Yeah.
Till you get, your SIN number, you get your right of residency, then you get that job. If you want to become, the Americans, they kind of pose about the American dream. Yeah. But I would say there is the Canadian dream right here.
Yeah.
That Canada gives you. But it might be a long path, but it's a consistent path.
Yeah.
When you kind of follow it, you get to wherever you don't take for the the quick path whereby you say, oh, if I just continue working, I get the under-table money.
Yeah.
I don't care about residency. There is a time, for example, if you get injured with the under-table jobs, then you have a risk with medication because you are not in the system for medical care.
Yeah.
At the time you go into the hospital, you are just under insurance, and before they touch you, that's like $5,000. So, and me, if I walk in there, I'm welcomed with open arms because I have residency, right?
Yeah.
So, as long as it takes, just pursue the right course.
Yeah. Pass through the proper channels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you'll get the right job. It will come at the right time.
And I'm so sure that if you pursue, if you decide to do it in an illegal way, you may find yourself on the next flight being deported back to Uganda, right?
Yes.
Because you did not follow the right path.
Yes, and I would say that it's so unfortunate that Mr. Trump from the US has put so much pressure on the Canadian government that deportations are on the highest level than before.
Yeah.
In any way where your documentation may not be, right, you may find yourself on the next plane back home because there's so much pressure from the southern border that they want Canada to kind of get rid of any excess people that, because they are blaming us for having excess people during the COVID time.
Yeah.
And most of those people are just infiltrating and crossing in because in the US, like working is not that much. Like I approach you, you get me your SIN number, the next day I'm working, which is a different case with Canada. Canada is a bit strict. Like when your hours are excessive, they approach you and ask you, how come you worked 200 hours in 2 weeks? That's insane, right?
Yeah.
But US does not care about that. So people find themselves coming into Canada and crossing into the US, and they don't like that.
Yeah, the
Donald
US is
Trump.
just there.
Yeah,
it's just like 5 minutes away.
Right now we are looking at the US across the water down there. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a president, you're trying to tell these people that any Ugandan coming in here, you just have to follow the proper channels.
Yes.
Because if they don't follow those proper channels, also they give our leadership a very hard time. It's very hard time to track a person, knowing that okay, that was Mike and he was working somewhere in an illegal place, and now he's going to be deported. Like, I mean, it's very difficult even to look into that case to see what you can do. Oh well.
Probably I would advise someone who is on the other side of this world, that's Africa or Uganda. Speak to someone who is already this way. Ask the actual process. Okay, I'm landing tomorrow. What do I do the next day? What do I do the other day? Okay, get as much information as you need just before coming. Then when you get here, you just add on that information to go to the right places.
Wow.
Yes,
that's really good, and I hope people you understanding what our president is trying to say. Basically, our president is trying to give us his take about the British Columbia things. Maybe it may be the same with other places of Canada, but right now he's talking about strictly British Columbia. So don't be there and start to say that, oh, how comes in Calgary it's very different? How comes in Ontario it's very different? No, he's talking about British Columbia. When we talk about British Columbia, there is Vancouver, there is Victoria, Surrey, Abbotsford, Mission, Delta, all these ones, right? Yeah, that's really nice. So are there any projects and initiatives is our leadership trying to organize for us within summer or things like that?
So our first goal is to establish a registered community, which is usually called a society. When that is properly registered with the objectives that it's supposed to do, then we can be able to access more of government consensus, like maybe funding, and if we need like a facility and you come in as a registered community, you get it's given to you at a discounted rate, stuff like that. So when we get to that level, we want to we have we have lots of talent actually. We have pastors in our community. We have imams or sheikhs that we want all these people to bring these resources to the people. We have basketball coaches, we have soccer coaches. They want to get our kids into stuff and things be done. So these are some of the things we are already looking at. Like the director for sports is already looking at having the teams going. Already we do have like with Justice has something that he organized that sometimes we go play soccer. We have the BC Cranes already in place. And myself, I've played like two games. We played with Ghana sometime.
Can you play football?
Mr. Justice can be my
your witness.
My witness. Sure.
Okay, we will see.
I played actually twice, and I got a knee injury, and I'm like,
everyone says that.
Okay. But sure, I've played in our BC Cranes one time. But we need these we need connections. We need to connect with the Alberta community. We need to connect with the Saskatchewan community, Manitoba. I've been to Ontario for a couple of. I'm also there is what we call the Kabaka Foundation. I'm also a board member of that. So at one time, I was invited in Ontario, and there is a vibrant community there. I was so challenged, and I'm like, because we lack the organization to. You cannot build make stuff like that when you're not organized on the ground, right?
Okay, just a minute. So, do you want to say that you are a representative of the Buganda kingdom within British Columbia? You're part of those people representing Buganda.
So there is a representative of that, and that's for the affairs of administrative of the kingdom. But there is what they call the Kabaka Foundation. It's kind of a charity of the Buganda kingdom. That's what I'm part of, and I'm the British Columbia representative.
Wow,
actually.
that's good.
Yeah, I'm part of the board of directors. I'm the representative for BC. Yeah, so I went and attended this organization.
What do you need?
In Ontario, and when I looked at this community, they do lots of stuffs every time because they have the leadership in place, and they kind of have these connections, and they've kind of built on their mistrust already. So this is what we want to build on. When we kind of get all these things together, then there are many things that we are able to do as a community.
That's really a very good initiative, for sure. Because I'm so sure, since this is spring, it's not summer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you guys are going to be having all these on table.
Yes.
So that we can go through them.
Yeah.
Everyone can choose where they want to go.
Exactly.
If you want to do football, you will go. If you want to do netball, volleyball, things like those ones, right?
Yeah.
This is so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a very tricky question I want to ask you, and I'm so sure you're the right person to tell me or to give me proper information about this.
Yeah.
When we come here, we all have a goal of working 3 jobs, 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Everyone says, I want to do 3 jobs. I want to do 2 jobs.
I want the money.
I want money, It's what we need, everyone.
Yeah.
But careful, please. You may find out that you have a job, you're working, you're being paid very well.
Yeah.
You run from that job, you go to another job, you're being paid very well. Then from that job, you go to another job, still being paid very well. And when you get all your paychecks, after a bi-week, you just see that there are taxes being deducted from your money.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say, you were supposed to get a $2,000 check, you get $1,500. Then after that, in a year, when you're filing taxes, you still see the government is still demanding you some money. The government says that according to the money you raised this year, you still have to pay some money. Yeah. So please, I'm asking the right person, because I know you do all these tax filing, things like those.
Yeah.
Please enlighten me more about that, because we may be doing it wrong or we may be doing it right. So please enlighten me more.
Okay.